Hey guys, how's it going? So as we all know, the Overlord update came out not too long ago, and I think we can all agree it was a fairly good update. Wasn't bad, wasn't game changing. It was just a fairly good update. For me personally, one of the best things about this update was the addition of the double room feature in the castle. This has saved me so much time when grinding, it is unimaginable, and I love the developers for adding this. Speaking of new features, in this video, I'm going to be going over the 5 features I would absolutely love to see be added to the game. If you guys know of any features or additions that you want to see added to this game, please feel free to add them in the comments below, as I would love to read your ideas. With the introduction out of the way, let's get right into this. Now, in no particular order, coming in at number 5, I have fast speed. The ability to adjust the speed of a game is something that I feel Anime Adventures desperately needs. Most tower defense games that I've played personally have had this feature included. Even just on Roblox, a very good example of this is in ASTD. In that game, not only can you turn to 2x speed, but you also can buy a 3x speed game pass. I'm sure it goes without saying, but we all know how hellish the grind in Anime Adventures is. I mean, in this footage you're seeing my Overlord there, my god, you do not even want to know how long it took me to get that. It was brutal. And I think adding a 2x speed feature would do wonders for this game. Not only would it save a lot of people time, but it would make people want to grind more. Beyond just benefiting the players, it would also benefit the developers. If they go down the ASTD route, they could sell a 3x speed pass and get extra money off that. People would buy that. I would buy it. So it's free money for developers. It makes the players happy. I don't see why this isn't in the game. So if the developers do watch this, please, I beg you, add a speed feature. I want to grind this game more, but it is so painfully slow. Just add a speed increase, please. Now, coming in at number 4, I have more unique evolutions. One of the main goals in Anime Adventures is to obtain and evolve as many mythical units as you can. However, the process is usually very tedious and incredibly boring. Just while writing down my ideas for the video, I was able to come up with 3 different types of evolutions that pretty much fit 99% of mythical units in this game. The first one, score a certain amount of takedowns. Second one, feed a unit a specific item or multiple of the specific item. Or 3, sacrifice X amount of mythical units to evolve one mythical unit. That's like 99% of the evolution processes in this entire game. The Overlord update is actually a perfect example of what I'm talking about. So in order to get an evolved Ainz, what you gotta do is you gotta get 3 of a normal mythical unit, then each one requires 30 rings to evolve. You evolve them, and then you have to feed them to the Overlord staff in order to get Ainz. Rinse and repeat that for the other 2, and then finally, surprise, you get Ainz. Oops, sorry, you gotta get 30 more rings. And then you can get your mythical unit. Not to mention, everyone has to get 7,500 takedowns. Now, I understand these are very basic tasks, and it's kind of hard to avoid them since most things can be boiled down to one of those options, but I would still like to see some variation. You could have something like, I don't know, like a side quest in the map, or you gotta go around and actually collect the items. Like a good example off the top of my head, in Dressrosa, there was an entire side quest involving the secret buttons and coded messages and platforming, all to see a capybara. Why can't we have a quest like that in order to evolve a unit? Wouldn't that be so cool? Imagine you go into a map, you have to manage the wave that's coming in, you gotta manage your units, but on the side, you gotta be going around, you gotta hit secret buttons, you gotta be going through invisible parkour paths, you gotta be teleporting around. That would be so cool. And you gotta just pick up a certain item, and there you go, that's how you get the item. We already have this in the game. Why don't we utilize it more than a capybara? Personally, I think this would be infinitely more fun than grinding a legend stage infinitely, or grinding portals a million times, or anything like that. This would actually be engaging, and it would be fun. I'm just spitballing ideas off the top of my head here, but I really think this would be a great addition. Coming in at number 3, very similar to number 4, is I want to see multiple evolution paths. Now, what I mean by evolution paths is for the same unit, I want to see more outcomes. We currently have something like this with the multiple evolution steps, like in Poochie's evolution or Escanor's evolution, but I want to see it so that the final form can change depending on what the player wants. Now, I know this will be kind of hard to implement as a lot of characters don't have multiple forms, but say someone like Ichigo or someone like Goku, they have a lot of forms. So why not during the evolution process have it so the player can choose if they want to go down a different path and get a different version of that unit? And I think this would do wonders for the game because on the banner, you would be encouraged to get the same mythical unit multiple times, because then when you're evolving them, you have multiple different outcomes you can get. Personally, I believe this would alleviate the staleness that a lot of banners have, where it's like, oh, it's the same unit again, I don't need multiple of that unit. With this feature, it would encourage you to get the same unit multiple times. So I think this would be a great addition, and it would make the game a little more unique. Alright, coming in at number 2, this is one that I actually really want to see, and that is more modes. I think I speak for everyone when I say this game is stale. It is so stale. If you've been playing for a long time, it gets boring. And that's why I want to see more modes. Right now, what modes do we have? Well, we got the play mode, just a standard story mode maps. Okay, that's fine. We have infinite, where you just run the same map endlessly. That's great. And after that, we start getting a little sketchy. You got challenge mode. Well, that's just story mode maps. It's just story mode maps with a slight modifier on. You got infinite castle. Same thing. That's just story mode maps. You got raids. Raids have different maps. They're unique, and that's good, but they play exactly the same as a story mode map would. And then what else you have after that? You have the events that come through, but those are just portals that go to story mode maps. That's all they are. It's all story mode. This is why I want to see more modes. First one I got on mind, a PvP mode. It's still going to be a tower defense game, but you're going to be playing against other people. And you can also make it a lot more fun by having 2 different forms of the PvP mode. You can have the standard unit mode, which is just whatever unit you have equipped, you go in with. Or you could do a random unit mode, where everyone who loads into the map all gets assigned random units, a random set of units. Now everyone would get the same set of random units to make it fair, but that would be fun. Like you can have the most meta setup, and then you go in there and you get dogs, you get your epics, you get legendaries, and you gotta figure out how to work against this while also competing against other players. And if any of you guys are playing, Balloons TD Battle, you could have you could send out specific units to target the person. That could be cool. That could be really cool. Another one I thought of is boss rush mode. Now it's gonna be very similar to Infinite, but every round has a boss. Another version of Infinite mode I want is Infinite mode with modifiers. It's exactly what it says. It's Infinite mode with modifiers. If you're sick of the standard Infinite mode and you want to turn on something like, I don't know, high cost, shield enemies, fast enemies, whatever, you can turn those on. And like modifiers do in most games, the more you have equipped, the higher your reward will be. Raise the gem cap if they put on a ton of modifiers. Once again, that would encourage people to play with them and change up their playstyles. And finally, the one I want the absolute most is a legacy mode. I want a legacy mode so bad you cannot imagine. One of my favorite maps in all of Anime Adventures was a Devil City map that came out with a Chainsaw Man mode.
I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute detail.
I want to play it again. I want to play it again. It's a perfect map. Why can't I play it? This is the simplest addition they could possibly make. Add a mode, okay, on the play select screen. Just add a legacy button, and all that's in there is the event maps. You know, Thriller Bark, Witch City, Devil City. You add those in there, and then you add like map variants. You know, like Namek Summer, Namek Anniversary. You won't get the rewards for playing them. Or I'm not saying bring back the Devil Bullets. I'm not saying bring back the time shards, you know? Just bring back the maps. I want to play them. They're really good maps. Someone went through the effort of making those maps. They went through the effort of making Devil City, and now no one will ever see it again. Please, just add a legacy mode. I want to play Devil City again, please. Alright, so coming in at number 1, I have the special banner. We only saw this a single time. We saw the special banner one time with the Madoka Magica event, and it's gone. Why? Where did it go? So for those who don't know, the special banner, what it was, is during the event, all the Madoka Magica units were put on as the featured units. And when you would get the mythic, you would usually get one of those. I believe you had a chance of getting another mythic, but you were pretty much guaranteed that you were going to get one of those, if I'm not mistaken. So where my confusion stems is, why hasn't this been reused for either other events or reused for new updates? The Overlord update is a perfect example why I think we need this. In order to get Eins, you had to get multiple of the new units. You had to get multiple of them. And there were times where you would go hours and hours and hours and no one would appear on banner. Why not, for a limited amount of time, just put the brand new units on the special banner? So it's like, hey, you are guaranteed, or not guaranteed, but you are very likely to get one of these. Like, make it so the banner is all the new units and make them feature, like in the Madoka Magica event. Sure, you can still get other mythics, but your chances of getting them are extremely high on this banner, and this banner is going to stay permanent for like, I don't know, like a week or 2 weeks, something like that, before changing out for the next update. This will make it so there's a lot less luck involved, you know? So yeah, I think this could just this could work great if it's like that, or it could just be another banner. It could just be another banner, because sometimes, let's be honest, the banner sucks. There are times where the banner is just abysmal. So you could do it like ASTD does and just have multiple banners going at one time. So banners just don't suck as often, and that'll help the developers out, because if there's a good banner, people are going to buy gems, people are going to buy luck potions. So if you have multiple banners running at one time, not only does that increase the chances that the player is going to get someone they want, but it's also going to increase the chances that developers are going to make money off of people buying packs and buying luck potions. This is a win-win for everyone. That's how a lot of things I've been talking about are. There's a lot of them are win-wins. No one is losing in these scenarios, and I don't know why these features aren't added. Alright guys, so that's the end of the video. I got a little heated on some of these. I really want to see them. If you guys have any ideas, please feel free to comment them down below, because I would love to see them. And I'll see you guys next time.